Oh, okay, this play. I mean, this play is legendary. This is one of the many plays that made me want to play Thresh so much. Hey, I'm Vulcan, and today I'll be watching and rating some of the most legendary support plays sent by all of you. Let's get started.
You can see it on the mini-map. They've got both of them, and now both solo laners are coming towards the mid lane. There's the flash!
Wolf with a giant knock. It's gonna find 3 with the ultimate. Equalizer on top, and Perks is down. 1 for 0 with no shockwave. A trade only on a support, and Sven not gonna make it much longer as well. The chase is in. Look at the beautiful plays out of Faker, crushing the backline by himself. Applause all around.
Yeah, I remember watching this, and then I was thinking here, like, please somebody check over the wall, because I was cheering for G2. And I remember seeing this live, and I was like, please someone check this. No, no, no. And then you can obviously see it coming because they're all lined up perfectly for Zyra here. And Huni's here too, actually. I just noticed. Huni Rumble. Iconic. For 5 years in a row, Huni's still playing Rumble. Okay, for this one, since I think it wasn't too mechanically demanding and kind of up to what the enemy team does more than how the player played it, I wouldn't rank it too high, but it was also kind of an iconic moment in a hype situation and kind of, made fun of G2 a little bit, so I think I'll put it in A. Yeah, back when I was on C9 with Sven and Mithy, we would definitely tease them for the Smeb one. That's the main one that they would get teased for, and they were also like self-diss, I guess, and be like, oh no, they picked Kennen, and talk about how they have, a very bad memory with that. And I mean, I also played with Perks last year, so they were definitely getting teased, yeah.
Fiona from behind is actually abysmal. You need to be able to go aggressive, or you can't do anything.
Well, they try to get to the front already. Ignite goes down immediately. No flash forward, but the heal comes out. They turn to Wolf as Bang feels like he can get back into the fight. Just 150
Hansama has no heal.
on Sama. One more shot as Wolf wants the glitter lands. Bang almost down. Barrier comes in. Bang! Blood onto Bang. Fight in the jungle still. Here comes Hansama. Wolf's going down. 2 kills in the bot lane as Misfits pull the trigger.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I was also watching this live, and I was a bit confused at the Fervor Leona, and I didn't expect that they could do anything in this matchup because Wolf is just running exhaust, and you would have to be crazy to get autoed by Leona a lot in this matchup. And they're already getting murdered a little bit, but then Bang gives the angle. Bang messed this up pretty bad. The fight extends, and this is the prime situation for Fervor Leona. He's getting so many hits in. And it looks like he's still inting, but his E comes off today. And he flashes for the Relic Shield. This is back when Relic Shields would give health back, so he actually flashes to be able to auto the minion and get some HP back so he doesn't get lethal on Lulu. And it looked like he wanted to steal the kill, but he thankfully gave it to his ADC, so that was pretty nice. But this pick was int, and this rune was pretty int, but the way SKT played kind of gave him the angle, and then it was disrespectful the way SKT played, and Ignar struck, so that was nice. Alright, this one is also iconic because it's, at least before the G2 T1 rivalry, this series was the best series of a Western team against a Korean team, at least in a very long time. And it was a very crazy off-meta pick, and, well, maybe not off-meta pick, but off-meta setup with the Fervor. And it was pretty well played. I mean, when he flashed for the Relic, that was pretty nice. That was good. Good fast thinking. So I'm gonna give it an S, just because I am biased towards Western teams. Yeah, I definitely miss the old rune system back when you could have quints, and I would always run, when I played Thresh, I would always run 3 quints of move speed and just run around and roam. And it was probably pretty bad and making me much weaker in lane. And objectively, it's not the best rune setup, but I just thought I was cool by having quint runes, and then I could kind of run at people sometimes and flay them, and they wouldn't expect the move speed, and that was kind of fun. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that Senna allows to have different type of champs in the bind being played, and it kind of tests you in, are you an actual good league player, or are you just a support main? And that's kind of a meme that or not a meme, but it's an insult that people will use in solo queue, where they're support mains off roll, we lost, stuff like that. But there's support players that are actually good at other roles. I wouldn't say I'm one of them. I'm serviceable at other roles. I can do my job, but I'm not gonna play crazy mid champs or top champs and solo kill the other guy 1v1. But anyway, it's cool to nowadays you have the ability to pair something with Senna that's completely different than usual, and it just tests your game knowledge and mechanics in a different way that a normal support champ would. Yeah, I kind of want to pull out Sauce support at some point, because in some cases enemy team has so many good ults, and my Sauce is pretty clean, and that champ is fun because you can just always dash in and fight and play very aggressively. And it's not very hard to play either compared to some other mid champs or unconventional support picks. And yeah, I think it'd be fun to pull out and just perma dash in and force fights.
To be honest, of course, he did have a very, very rough time in that early stage of the game, but 3,000 gold is almost the lead. Double if now in a lot of...
What a play was incredible. Manages to catch him out of the flash as well.
Bunny Fufu is a god. I'm putting it out right here. That was utterly stunning.
The Madlife predicted death sentence. That was amazing.
Whoa.
Out of Bunny Fufu and the flame mid-jump.
Oh, okay, this play. I mean, this play is legendary. This is one of the many plays that made me want to play Thresh so much. I don't know how many times I've seen this one. I would play Thresh back in the day, like when I was learning him, and my goal was always to interrupt dashes, because I saw this one and the X special play when he was in top lane as well, and cancelling the Jarvan's combo. I don't know if it was X-Smithy or something, but just being able to cancel dashes was the primary reason why I was playing Thresh. And the dopamine that you get when you successfully cancel someone's jump and make their game unplayable is just so good. And it was always a mini game to like try and react to Kha'Zix's jump, or like different spells that are super quick, like Lucian dashes. Sometimes I would be able to react. It's sad that Thresh isn't played so much anymore, because I was talking in the past tense because I feel like I haven't played this champ in such a long time. But yeah, this play is legendary. Okay, this Bunny Fufu play, the amount of time I've watched it is probably close to triple digits, and it is so far at least the most iconic one for me personally. I guess if they're like from NA, I don't know if people from other region would have seen it or like cared about it, but I've seen it so many times it kind of was a big factor in me playing Thresh, and I guess support role in general, so I'm putting it in triple S tier. I think the most fun hook support is probably Pyke, just because you can always kill the enemy laner. Like, you can always flash forward and find an angle and be creative with the way you fight. You can always roam very fast with your W and be everywhere on the map and make plays. You also can steal kills without your teammates being mad at you, because you're gonna share the goal with them. And he's also pretty hard mechanically, and there's so many, like, I feel like in every fight, almost every fight that I play Pyke, if you look back at it, there's like something you could have done a little bit better. And the fact that like you're charging hook in someone's face sometimes, and they're like doing the thing where they're trying to dodge the hook because they know you're gonna cast it. You're like channeling it in their face, and then it's just a challenge of like, can you read their mind? Can you toss it at the right time? Can you predict where they're gonna go? And I feel like that's super fun.
They're getting a third Mountain Drake. They already got the first Baron. That was huge for them to actually get a bigger goal lead. They're saving the Drake for now. They got two already. Bang is hiding. He's coming.
Bang looking to come in. Here comes your initiation. They're right through.
Oh my God.
Baker Shockwave will find them all. And SKT, with a hell of a response, will take down 4.
They did it! They fought back from a 9,000 gold deficit and won a team fight against all expectations.
I don't remember if I was watching this one live, but I've also seen this quite a few times, and I've also talked to Huni about this moment. I think he would always mention how no one talks about his Shogath play, so I might look at the Shogath play a little bit in this clip, because I think he gets a big silence. Okay, Huni, that was all Wolf. This one is crazy just because the amount of gold, and when you look at the score, it's just 7 threats to 2 and 9 kills to none, and it seems completely doomed for SKT. But Rakan was very OP back then. Look at that, he's just full screen away and he just flash W and ults all at once. I kind of miss that. The combo is just perfect. But yeah, to be fair, this champion was so OP back then. I really do miss that, the instant ult. It was a bit unfair though. I think this one, although it looks pretty, EDG is kind of inting. They're stacking S5 and not using Well, Xayah used ult, so I think she succeeded in dodging the engage, but in reality not really because they had so many spells. But Janna didn't ult. But in his defense, the Rakan's engage was like 0.1 second. Which leads me to my next point, where that it wasn't very mechanically demanding. It was nice though that he saw the angle and instantly went for it, but just because there's like no predicting, there's no challenging mechanical thing that he did. He just kind of smashes all his buttons at once and goes in. To me, it doesn't rank very high, but it was a very hype moment and is also a very iconic engage. So I'm struggling between B and A, but I think just because I feel like a plat support could have done the same, I'm going to put it in B. No offense to Wolf. I'll put it in B and A, that's kind of sad. But I feel like this one is not too hard to do compared to the other plays at least. I think my favorite combo to pull off is the Ballista, where you're playing Blitzcrank and you hook somebody and Kalista's like a bit behind you and she presses ult to pull them back, and it's a combo that I would play a lot with Sven in solo queue or sometimes in scrims or on stage. And it's kind of hard because the Kalista has to know whether or not the hook's going to hit, and at the same time have the trust that like the Blitzcrank will hit it if she does like want to press the ult button. And so sometimes it makes funny moments where Blitzcrank hooks and misses, and then the Kalista ults anywhere, and you're like, this is awkward. But then when you do land it, it's very satisfying, just because it's not like that useful, but it looks very cool, and it's kind of a flex that you are able to land it.
견적 최대한 많이 맞출 수 있게끔 천천히 궁을 쓰 바로바로 안 쓰거든요.
네. 옆라인으로 끌어서 볼까? 여기 쓰레쉬 있어요. 각이 어디가 새끼야? 네.
It's funny because this is like the traditional Madlife play, but then no one calls, well, everyone calls it Madlife when you predict someone's flash or jump or blink, whereas this is just you like calculated the movement well and like tracked the champ in fog with his hook. I've seen this one a lot too. I don't think I watched Pro League back then. This is like too early for me. I think it's just so cool that Madlife is like, he has a play coined to his name and everyone calls it a Madlife when you predict someone. And even though he doesn't play the game anymore, his name is still like remembered and used, and everyone knows this play that he's done, and I think that's just so cool. This one, as it is like his coined term, he did not predict the flash, but it is also iconic moment with the Korean caster screaming in the background that adds some value to it. And it's like he was like before his time with the kind of plays that he would make, and this one in particular as well. I think I'm putting this one in S tier along his friend Ignar. So when I was coming up in high-low in Challenger, playing support a lot more than ADC, the supports that were good in the LCS around that time were Ole and Aframu. And for Ole, he would always play like roam heavy champs, go for crazy plays. He was playing Bard and finding like really good angles, and I liked his playstyle a lot. And then for Aframu, he was known as like a leader and a very like team first kind of player, and like known to have good communication and stuff like that, which is something that people would attribute to like what makes a good support player, right? Because you have more time than others to make plans and lead the team and stuff like that. So they were the two supports that I looked up to, at least for LCS, because it's closer to home and I could relate to them more. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of cool that I can still play against them in LCS. They're both still in the league and I still get to play against them. If I could bring back anything from old iterations of League, I think I would bring back old Graves, just because I would play him back then and auto, and it was just so smooth to just auto people and click on them and press Q, and it was just so chill. You're just there. It's not very demanding. You just feel super nice. Everything's so smooth, and I miss old Graves. Thank you guys so much for watching me rank these legendary support plays. Make sure to leave a comment below, let me know how I did, and I'll see y'all next time.